You're looking at the 2024 election and it's a train wreck. Or if you're a conservative, you're looking at the 2020 election and you're still angry about it. But I'm going to tell you a story. When I was little, like maybe in 6th grade, and this is a true story, I used to go to school across the train tracks. I had to walk across the train tracks to get to school every day. And there was one day where I was kind of dilly-dallying on the train tracks. I was like looking at some stuff that looked really interesting to me, like some stones, and I kept hearing this sound, like there was a train. I kept thinking I was hearing a train, and I kept looking down the tracks like, where's the train? I don't see it. I'm looking, but I don't see it. And then all of a sudden I realized that the train was behind me. And I turned around and the train was like maybe 20 feet away from me, coming at me, and I hurled myself off the train tracks and the train went by. And that is what is happening now. You are looking at the last election and you cannot believe it. Every time you look at more data, you're like, what? You're like Nevada, Pennsylvania, North Carolina, now Florida, or in whatever election you're upset about. You're just like, you can't believe how bad it looks. But what I am here to tell you is that you have to pivot and look forward. Policy is determined by the next election, not the last election, the next election. Pivot and look forward. We at Smart Elections are pivoting. We are looking forward. For the last couple of months, we have been telling you we are organizing the most comprehensive, nonpartisan, data-based election verification program in U.S. history, and we want you to be part of it. And it is so important that you pivot now and start to participate. These are the trainings that we're having. There are trainings tonight. This is Monday, October 20th, and we are doing New York and California tonight. New York is at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. California is at 6 p.m. Pacific Time. Note those time zones. Those are for your local time zones. And then tomorrow, Tuesday, October 21st, training is for Virginia at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. And the QR code is on the screen. You can sign up. And if you want to help and you're not in those states, we really could use your help. So go ahead and go to the website, and there's a button there and it says other states. Sign up for other states, and we will be in touch with you and ask you if you would like to help organize the states that we are doing now. And then in 2026, we are going to be monitoring for the midterms. So you can see right here, this is what it's going to look like when you go to the website. You're going to see those buttons and you're going to sign up. You see California, New York, Virginia, and sign up for election verification in other states. That's what I want you to do. I want you to go and I want you to sign up right now. I cannot tell you how important this is. This is how we make progress. We have to monitor the elections in real time, collecting data, because that is how we know what is happening in real time. And let me tell you, the courts are not set up to process statistical analysis. There's no precedent for that. They're not used to that. And so they're not, for the most part, going to make judgments based on statistical analysis. They are going to make judgments based on actual data from the ground. That is why we are making progress in the Rockland County lawsuit, because we have actual on the ground proof that the votes weren't counted correctly. It's people's affidavits and data. So we need to collect that in the upcoming elections, and we are prepared to do that. We have been doing pilot programs for this for the last 5 years, and we know what we're doing, and we want you to join us. So I want to show you the type of work that we do on the ground. This is a location. It was in New York. It was a huge Democratic stronghold in Queens. This could happen to a Republican stronghold. It could happen to anybody. But this particular location, the scanners jammed, and the lines were 2 to 3 hours long. And we heard about it because we had monitors on the ground, and I went down there in person, and we called the Board of Elections until they got people down there and fixed the situation. The scanners, almost all of the scanners were jammed. And you can see scanner A didn't work, scanner B jammed, scanner C was the only scanner that worked the whole time, scanner D jammed, scanner E worked briefly, and then it was out of service, and then scanner R they were only using as a backup scanner. So they had like one functioning scanner, and they had 3,000 voters almost. And because we were there, we got the situation repaired. We got them down there fixing the voting machines, and then we stayed and we made sure that the votes got counted correctly. So you can look at our sheets, and initially the votes were not counted correctly. There were missing about 167 votes, and then they found them in a backup box where they had been stuffed, like an emergency backup box, because the scanners weren't working. And because we were there taking notes and reconciling everything, we said, no, it's not right. Your vote count isn't right yet. They found those ballots, and then they worked until all of the ballots got counted. So this is on the ground work that we want you to be doing, that we're going to train you for. These are the forms that we've developed. And in 2024, we really didn't have the number of people that are working with us now. If we'd had the budget and if we'd had more people, we could have pursued that further and tried to find out, why were those scanners not working? We could have done public records requests and even filed a lawsuit. But what we want now is to be prepared for the next election. So right now, 2025, there's a big election in New York, the mayor's race, in Virginia, the governor's race, and in California, Prop 50. And we want people on the ground monitoring these elections. And that's you. We want you to sign up. You went to the march, or you've been going to your local meetings, or whatever you've been doing. And this is the next step. And the other thing that you could do that was help us out, that would be so, so incredibly helpful, is you could donate. You could donate, and you could ask others to donate. If you're an influencer, please take just a minute and just make a quick video and ask people to donate. We have a $6,000 matching funds grant right now. We have a donor who stepped forward, and she said she just wants to make sure that other people have skin in the game, and she's asking other people to step up and match her. We have until next Monday, 10/27. We've already raised almost $1,000 toward this. So we're just looking for another $5,000. And if you could give whatever you can, $1, $5, $500, $1,000, whatever you have, right? If you have $1, that's what we would like you to donate. So the QR code for the website is on the screen, and the QR code to donate is also right there under the $6,000. You could donate on the website or directly with the QR code. And we are just so incredibly grateful. Please, please share this video, get the word out. Tell people to sign up for the training. Sign up for the training if you're in one of those states, or if you have time to help. If you're in another state, we are getting ready for the midterm. So we have regional teams set up now in about a dozen different regions, and we are expanding every week. So please get involved. This is my life's work. This is what I've done for the last 20 years, is try to help repair our elections. And I spent a lot of time thinking about this. I've tried a lot of different things over the years. And in my experience, this is the best, the most important thing that we can do right now, is to be on the ground during elections, collecting data, keeping our eyes on the equipment and the votes. Please be with us. Thank you. Thank you for everything you're doing.